The diapers change.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be talking about marketing strategies. I'm going to give it a few minutes just because we have a small group right now. So I think people are probably just slowly wandering in. So let's give them a few minutes and we'll get started at exactly 11:05. Thanks, guys. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be talking about marketing strategies. So I'd love to hear from you guys as we go through this, because of course there's lots of things that you can implement. So if there's something that's working for you, please share that with the group. And if there's something that you tried and maybe didn't work, I'll be full disclosure with you guys. I'll let you know what I've tried in the past. But for those of you who are brand new, we're going to be talking about some things that you can implement right at the beginning. I always like to recommend things that are free for the most part, but of course I will touch on some things that are hopefully not too expensive to implement into your business. So we'll get started here. Let me just make sure we're all set up, we're up and running, and we can jump right in. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with Sidekicks Media and I'm going to end with Sidekicks Media, because if you do need any help or you want help putting together your logo, any marketing materials, if you're going to do direct mail, that is one of the things that, it's not a free idea. It definitely costs money if you're going to be sending out flyers or postcards or whatnot to a particular area. But if that's something you're interested in, Mohammed could definitely help you with that. He's right in the Zolo office. So I'm putting up his website and his direct phone number as well, so he can help you with all of that. I believe he also does websites for you as well, so he can help you design that. So reach out to him, find out what his pricing is like, but he's definitely in the office, and he has all of the Zolo templates to download, and if you're going to go that route. But of course, as I said, if you wanted to do something in line with your own branding, if you wanted to create your own logo and that sort of thing, he can help you with that as well. So again, I'll share his information at the end as well. But let's talk about marketing, how to get started, personal marketing versus engagement marketing versus traditional marketing. That's what we're going to cover today. And specifically, getting started really is going to involve two things. You need to have a business plan and you need to have a marketing plan, right? So your business plan is really going to talk about what your goals are, how many transactions you need to do in order to reach your financial goals. But then of course your marketing plan is going to support that, right? So if you do have, a goal of doing 12 deals a year, or if you're looking at it from a financial perspective, you want to make 100,000 a year, whatever it is, however you're setting your goal, having a plan in order to achieve that, but then of course having the marketing plan behind it so that people know who you are, right? We can't be secret agents in this business. So we're going to be talking about both of those things. So let's get started with the business plan. So just some questions to really think about here. What is maybe your mission? Starting off with something like that. Who's your target niche? So, of course, when we start out in real estate, obviously our niche is anybody who's looking for a house to buy or sell. But I'm going to actually suggest that we reverse engineer that. And I think I'm going to show you in the next slide, if not the one after, how you can go into a specific property. You can go right into Geo Warehouse, and it's going to tell you what the demographic is for that particular neighborhood. So if you are wanting to specialize, in your own neighborhood, you can take a look at what the demographics are so that you know who you're targeting, right? It's not just everybody and anybody. Maybe you're targeting first-time home buyers, right? If you're in a condo building, and you're in a certain price point, maybe that's your target market. Maybe you're in more of a suburban area with detached homes, and you have, families who are moving into the area. So really looking at that. So thinking a little bit more about your target niche and really having something that defines them. What's your vision? So mission and vision, these are always things that get talked about in a business plan, but certainly what are your financial goals? And we have an Excel spreadsheet. It's a magical Excel spreadsheet. All you have to do is type in your desired financial goal. So again, using that example of $100,000, and it basically calculates for you what that means in terms of how many showings you need to do, how many offers you need to be submitting. So really, real estate is a numbers game. So as long as you are keeping track of what it is that you're doing, even if you're not seeing results right away, if you just keep doing those things all the time, going out on showings, it will result in deals. So I'll share that with you guys as well. And then of course, knowing what's your point of distinction, what's your unique selling proposition. So if you have a background in legal, for example, that might be something that you want to share with people, something that you want to include in your bio on your real estate website so that people know a little bit more about you and feel comfortable trusting you with the largest transaction of their life, right? So really setting yourself apart, and we all have unique things about us. So really thinking about what that is for you and highlighting it and promoting it, making that marketing. All right, so let me just make sure everybody is, oops, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, mute all. There we go. So we don't have any background noise. But yeah, feel free if you guys want to chat with me, just raise your hand and I can turn your mic on, and we can share some ideas, hopefully. All right. So talking about who it is that you want to target, traditionally speaking, when we talk about marketing, marketing experts will ask you to come up with a customer avatar, right? So really fancy words for, who is it that you want to, like who's your ideal client, essentially, right? But as I was saying, it's a good idea to maybe reverse engineer this. So as I was saying before, if there's a property in your neighborhood that you would really love to sell, this is your exact area that you want to be working in, then pulling up any listing that's in that area, and you can go right into Geo Warehouse right from that subject property. And it gives you all kinds of information, including, which I think we ignore sometimes, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it tells you what the demographics are for that particular area, right? So is it families? It looks like in this case, it looks like, most people are, it looks like this particular area, married with children, right? So you would know then how to target those people. So maybe getting really involved in the schools, if that also happens to be, who you are, then it's a little bit easier to infiltrate this group, right? So just again, knowing who it is that is in that area will help you target them, right? So, I mean, even if we go to, if we start talking about Facebook ads, we're able to determine, the area and the age of the, the people that our audience that we're trying to target. So knowing this gives you some information as to how to target those people. So just a little, again, trick to reverse engineer it so you know who it is that you're talking to. And then going back to this one-page business plan. So just having something like this in front of you so you really know your goals, you're reminded of them every day. So yes, maybe you have it tell you that your target for the year is $100,000. That's great. But then break it down into daily activities so that you definitely have reminders of what to do, right? So maybe it's every day you're going to post on Facebook, you're going to post on Instagram. So these are things that you can do for free that, definitely keeps you top of mind to whoever it is that your audience is, right? So creating that Facebook business page, we're going to talk about all of this, but having activities that you do every day that bring you closer to this goal. So that's what we're going to be talking about, having all different kinds of marketing channels in place so that you can, obviously be promoting yourself and generating more business. So outside of Zolo, right? Obviously here we're very lucky that we get leads sent to us every day. But yeah, if you want to have, more business than that, if you want to double down on that, then definitely implementing, the website first and foremost, having something that, it's an online brochure that adds credibility. And then of course, having those social media channels as well, the Facebook and the Instagram. So again, we'll talk about all of that. But I did want to share here that Excel spreadsheet. So this is something that I've uploaded before on the training channel in Workplace, but I will upload it again for you guys because it's been done already. All you have to do is plug in the amount of money that you want to be making for the year, and then it breaks down how many, again, you can see it right here, how many showings you have to go on, how many offers you have to write, all of that good stuff. So I think actually there's two things that you have to enter. So not just your goal, but also what the average commission is in your area. So just knowing that as well. So calculating what the average commission is going to be on the average price point in your area. And then you can see here, it's broken it down into how many deals you need to do. So in this particular case, if the average commission is $10,000 in your area and you're going to net half of that, then it's telling you that you need to do at least 14 deals a month. So, or sorry, 14 deals a month, that'd be great. 14 deals a year. So then of course, then it calculates how many offers you have to submit. So unfortunately, it's the nature of real estate that not every single offer is going to get accepted. So just knowing what your numbers are and tracking those. Again, because real estate is really a numbers game, really keeping track somewhere, somehow, maybe in this Excel spreadsheet or somewhere else, how many offers you're submitting, how many offers you're getting accepted, how many offers firm up, just so that you really know your numbers. So that when you are, in the trenches doing the work and, you're not seeing those results, just knowing that you're getting closer and closer to that goal. So again, here, translating all of this, if you need 14 deals a year, yes, you need to be writing 23 offers, which means you need to be taking 119 people out on showings. So that sounds like a lot, but again, this spreadsheet will break it down for you in terms of how many people you actually need to meet in a month. So clients and showings every month, you should be meeting 10 new people, right? So then on a weekly basis, that breaks down to 2 people a week. So that sounds a lot more manageable than the 119 over the course of the year. So using this spreadsheet to your advantage so that you know your numbers, you can tweak it as you go along. Some of you might have a higher acceptance rate than others, so just knowing what that is for you. But having something like this that helps you, right? And then implementing those marketing strategies so that you can achieve these goals. So let's talk about that. All right, so marketing, again, there's so many things that we can implement. I'm going to talk about personal marketing, and then I'm going to talk about social media marketing. So in the social media marketing section, we're going to talk about having a CRM, which I always, kind of suggest, so that you can send out email newsletters or weekly blasts, whatever you want to do. I will touch a little bit as well on ClickFunnels, specifically landing pages. Give me a hands up if you know what I'm talking about there. That's somewhat newer, but definitely, social media has been around. So hopefully you're using that, inviting your friends and your family, to participate in your social media, to, write comments, make it look like it's engaging, and then, growing it from there. And then a couple of different websites. So we'll talk about having one for your real estate business, but then we'll talk about maybe having one, that talks about your specific community. So that's, just another marketing idea. And then really implementing video. I think right now that has really taken over. So I'm going to suggest BombBomb is one of the platforms that you can literally send video emails from. So again, it's just a little bit of a better way to stand out. So we have to remember there are so many realtors out there. We are in competition. We have to set ourselves apart. So these are just some ideas in how to do that. So let's jump in first of all to the personal marketing, which really just involves making sure that you have everything set up, right? You've got those business cards. If you do want to have a logo, designing that, again, using Sidekicks Media as a resource, they're available to you. And then, if you do want to have a tagline or whatever it is, and then registering your website, right? That is in line with that. So again, Hamid has all the templates. You can keep it with the Zolo branding, or again, you can talk to him about creating your own logo. If you guys have created your logo using a different source, again, talk to me, let me know. I know Canva is out there. That's free. If you're a little bit creative, you can create something on your own. There is another website that I came across as well. It's called Agent Create. And I believe that is $20 or $25 a month, and they have a whole bunch of ideas there. They actually have logo makers, business card makers. So, if you wanted to do it yourself, or maybe even just play around with some ideas and then maybe send it to Hamid and say, this is what I'm thinking, he can maybe tweak it and fine tune it for you. But anyway, so that's out there, that's a resource. So it does give you, as I said, templates where you can create your own sort of marketing material, but it also, it gives you some ideas as to what to post every day on your social media. So I've used them for inspiration. So it's not a super expensive platform to sign up for. So I'll put that in the resources at the end if you want to take a look at it. But in the meantime, this is our Zolo branding. So go ahead, make sure that you have these things ready. You want to be ready to take on the business. So you don't want to get that call. You've got a buyer, they're interested in buying something and they have a property to sell and you haven't even ordered your for sale signs, right? So if you ever have downtime, make sure that this is something that you're working on, right? Including, of course, which I'm not really going to touch on here, but including, of course, your listing presentation and your buyer's package, all that kind of stuff. So making sure that you're prepared to take on the business, right? You've got all those marketing things in place. One moment, let me see. All right. I knew I was going to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. So let's talk about the social and digital marketing. So as I said, we're going to be talking about having a CRM, at the very least, an Excel spreadsheet that you guys are using. So again, that's the free version. And then if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, there are some CRMs out there for as little as $30 a month. And I'll recommend some for you. And they do more than just keep track of your database. Some of them, will actually also offer a website, design some email newsletters for you on a monthly basis. So I'm talking about exact contact if you don't already know. So I'll share that with you. We'll talk about the ClickFunnels, landing pages. So this is just something, again, that you can use that maybe generate some more buyer leads. But as you know, again, at Zolo, we get a lot of those types of leads. So maybe you want to have something a little bit more targeted to sellers, which again also comes to us through Zolo, but often disguised as a buyer lead. So just having something else that boosts your business, that doubles what it is that you're already getting from Zolo. And then, as I said already, implementing the social media, a couple of different websites if you're willing to invest in that, and then doing the video marketing. So let's jump in and talk about the CRM. All right, so there are, of course, a bunch of them. We have our own Zolo CRM, so I hope you guys are using that properly, that you're tuning into the trainings that we have here at Zolo so that you know what to plug into the system in order for it to keep sending you those leads.
Будем денек, а потом едем, через денечек, через один день.
Let me just moment. All right, so yeah, definitely using the Zolo CRM, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips there as well. So, remembering that stream button and what that does for you, but then of course, again, having something else outside of that. At the very beginning, again, if you're brand new to Zolo, at least having an Excel spreadsheet where you can keep track of all of your conversations, right? It's really nice to have, at the very least, an Excel spreadsheet where you're keeping track of everybody's names and phone numbers and email addresses. But more than that, you want to be also capturing what areas they're interested in, what their budget is, because, if somebody posts on the workplace group that they have a listing coming up in Mississauga and it's, less than $1 million, and that's exactly what you spoke to somebody about, you want to be able to find them easily, right? So you don't just want them to be in the engaged folder in your Zolo CRM. You want to have something separate, as I said, so that you can quickly sort that Excel spreadsheet by, who was looking in Mississauga and what their price point was, and you can reach out to them specifically. So, we can't just sit back as agents and wait for somebody to call us and say, hey, I'm interested in buying this house. We have to be proactive, right? And we need to have the systems in place to help us do that, and then always constantly marketing to them. So having a system, Excel spreadsheet is a good starting point, but then having something a little bit more sophisticated that eventually you can grow into, just because, again, those CRMs are going to help with, drip campaigns, and they're going to stay in touch kind of in an automated way so that, again, you're staying top of mind. That's the whole point of all of this, right? Trying to stay top of mind with everybody can be daunting when we have so many people that we're speaking to on a daily basis. So that obviously adds up. So you want to have a system in place that supports you. All right, so again, talking about the Zolo CRM, definitely using the stream button to your advantage. So the stream button that I'm particularly talking about is the one that you find in the toolbar. So at the very top of the CRM dashboard, you're going to see stream. And if you click on that, that's going to give you everybody who's in your CRM. So everybody who is, newly registered to the site, maybe you've never spoken to them. Maybe you did speak to them months ago. Maybe you took them out on a showing. It doesn't matter where they are in the pipeline. If you click on that stream button, it's going to give you a chronological list of everybody who has been looking for properties on the Zolo.ca website. So you'll be able to see right at the very top who was online most recently. So were they online an hour ago? Were they on 4 hours ago? So that's a really good way to reach out to your database. So, reaching out to them that way, it's more systematic than going into your engaged folder, which is going to be just an alphabetical list, right? And then how do you know who to call first? So obviously people who you see in your stream are people who are actively looking. Again, maybe you haven't spoken to them in a really long time, but if they're online, call them up, ask them, what it is that they're looking for, ask them how they're doing, and hopefully, converting them to a showing there. So again, the Zolo CRM does a lot for us. We get those new leads, and then we don't want to just forget them in that engaged folder. Don't forget to continually follow up with them and market yourself. So yes, the warm leads are always going to be in your new lead folder. Those are people who have just registered. So again, if you click on that stream button, you'll be able to see them if they are online, and it's a good way to start a conversation with them. All right, this is an example of an Excel spreadsheet. This is actually something that you can download directly from Gmail. It's called Streak, S-T-R-E-A-K, and then it actually sorts your incoming leads this way. So I know Ronnie also has I don't want to say a program, what is the word I'm looking for? He has code, I guess, that you know, will pull your Zolo leads into an Excel spreadsheet for you. So that's also valuable, but you can do that right from your Gmail account. And like I said, it does sort it, and you'll be able to, yeah, again, just keep on top of what it is that they're looking at what they're looking for, you know, what stage they're in the pipeline. So again, this just keeps everybody, you know, in front of you. And I find that sometimes when they're out of sight, they can be out of mind. So definitely at least implementing the Excel spreadsheet. And then if you are going to use something a little bit more sophisticated, then this is going to help you down the road, right? So if you do implement a CRM that does the drip marketing, right? So in other words, sending out automatic emails based on, you know, what you set them as. But in addition to that, it might send them, you know, monthly, or not monthly happy birthdays, no, annual happy birthdays, you know, annual, you know, anniversary reminders or congratulations. It'll prompt you as well, right? Like if you've put somebody in a home and a year later they have, you know, it's their anniversary, it'll remind you as well to maybe send them a CMA, right? What's happened to their property in the last year of ownership? Again, just another way for you to stay on top of everybody. So it's going to be really important to have some kind of system. I mean, as you can probably already tell, it's going to be impossible to remember all these details for the hundreds of people that you talk to, and of course, all the deals that you accumulate along the way. So really having something in place that helps you stay top of mind. So again, with that CRM, having the drip campaigns, the, you know, happy birthday cards that get automatically sent out, the anniversaries, and then, as I said as well, you've got the email newsletters that you can implement and send out on a monthly basis too. So just having something that helps you stay top of mind, I think is really important. So can you please provide more information on this program that downloads the leads to the spreadsheet? Yeah, so actually this is really, it's just in Gmail. So it's something called Streak, and I believe you'll see it on the sidebar down at the bottom. So over here where you see Compose, all the way down at the bottom, you'll see something called Streak. And if you just click on that, it will download it for you. So, I mean, it's just that simple, really. And then I'm sure there's ways that you can tweak it and set things, but Ronnie also has a different program that will convert or pull all of your Zolo leads into an Excel spreadsheet. So if you're having trouble with Streak, reach out to Ronnie, you know, and ask him to do that for you, because again, it's automated for you. So there's really not much for me to explain other than, you know, just download it and it'll automatically populate, and then you'll have a record of it. But do use it, right? Don't just have it recorded and then, you know, you don't really refer to it. You're kind of expecting, you know, this bot to do it for you. You always do want to have, you know, the human touch in any CRM that you're using, right? Because you want to be taking notes, of course, of the conversations that you're having, because otherwise, you know, what are you calling them back for, right? Again, it's going to be impossible to remember all the details. So really going in there and updating all the notes, all of your previous activity. Yeah, so the program that Ronnie has, it's a code that he has, and it generates an Excel spreadsheet for you. So again, that's all I know about that. He just automatically sets it up, and I believe you get an email with the update every day once it's up and running. So reach out to him and he'll be able to implement that for you. All right. So yeah, let's talk about the landing pages. So again, this is an idea that I'm sure you guys have come across. So if you're, you know, browsing Facebook particularly, I'm sure you'll see, you know, you'll see what this is. They're usually sponsored ads. So it's a company out there that's targeting you, you know, for real estate, or honestly, whatever it was that you were just searching Google for. So a lot of real estate sponsored ads for sure. So are you a first-time home buyer? Are you interested, you know, in the value of your home? You know, so it kind of asks questions like this to encourage people to click and then fill in their information. So it is a good way to generate leads. Again, this is something that if you haven't implemented a website yet, maybe ask your website provider if they also do this for you, right? And it shouldn't be a hugely expensive thing. You know, the website provider that I use, I think they charge $40 to create your landing page. And then of course it's up to you how much you want to spend it actually pushing that advertising through Facebook. And again, hopefully you have a website provider that can help you with that. You know, this is, you know, marketing ideas that I'm wanting to share, but we don't have to be experts in all of it in terms of how it works. You know, we just need to know where to go in order to generate these, you know, these ideas and additional leads. So making sure you have a website provider that will help you with this. But social media definitely is something that you can use. It's pretty user-friendly. Once you start getting into social media ads and whatnot, you may want to hire somebody to help you. But for the most part, you should be able to create your own Facebook business page, really simply. Same thing with Instagram. So at least having those two platforms, I think is really important. So if you don't have that yet, then I would encourage you to do that. So I would suggest a Facebook business page at the very least. And then Instagram is actually quite powerful with all those hashtags. People are able to find you very easily. Facebook is a little bit more crowded, but of course, the ads through Facebook, I'm more familiar with the ads through Facebook than Instagram, but on both platforms, those work. So at the very least, have it set up so that when you are ready to do the ads, when you are ready to invest in that, you have a business page that already has some content, right? So you're not just starting brand new and there's nothing on your Facebook page, right? Once you start investing in those ads, you want people to be going to your Facebook page and seeing, oh, okay, yeah, no, there's quite a bit of history here. This Realtor has been doing this for some time. So again, posting, daily even is a good idea. I know that sounds overwhelming, but really if you set yourself some time aside, maybe on the weekend, on a Sunday, literally it could take you an hour, maybe a little bit more to come up with 5 posts, 7 posts if you want to do every day, and then just schedule them on your Facebook page so that people are hearing from you every day. And again, going back to that suggestion of Agent Crate, they have a lot of ideas there as to what to post. So yes, you can post real estate tips, you can post about mortgages, you can post about design trends. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but certainly, find something that like Agent Crate that will give you some inspiration. Follow other realtors, see what they're talking about, right? I mean, it's great when you have an upcoming listing, obviously you want to post about that, but in between those times, you definitely want to have content there. So, even having like a weekly schedule. So, you might want to reserve your Mondays for, mortgages, and then Tuesday might be, tips, whatever tips it is, or maybe a term that you want to introduce, right? So you might want to educate your audience about, what is a deposit? What's the difference between a deposit and a down payment, right? So things like that are just kind of educational. So again, I mean, you can have a topic for each day just to help you stay organized, so that you know what to post about if you're sitting there on Sunday trying to come up with these ideas. So it can be kind of fun. And again, try to find some inspiration by following other people. Let me see. Where can we get the content that can be shared or reshared? Content. Yeah, so is there any website? So yes, so Agent Crate is one of them that does have quite a bit of content on there, some ideas as to what to post. Again, they do design trends, they do, what do you prefer, this or that, and they'll have screenshots of different kitchens, for example. So again, there's a lot of content that you can find just by browsing the internet, but if you want to save yourself some time and just find it all in one place, I do recommend Agent Crate. I think it's $20 or $25 a month. And even if you scoop some ideas and then you're off to the races, you can cancel that subscription. But it does get you going for sure. Awesome. So yeah, actually, this is Agent Crate. This is sort of a calendar that they put together. So again, this is out there for you, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just know where to go to find things for inspiration. So here, they're talking about maybe posting your sold listings at the beginning of the month. Maybe in the middle of the month, you have a day for a market update, right? And you go on, you do a Facebook Live, you talk to your audience about what's been selling, how quickly things are selling, what the average price point is, how that's different this year than last year. So I know those things can be nerve-wracking, but definitely if you just, write down your notes, have that in front of you, do it. And honestly, the feedback is always great from those, and Facebook loves video. So if you take the time to do it, you'll definitely get way more engagement, way more views on something like that than just posting all the time. So mix it up a little bit. If you love cooking, for example, there's something here, Friday recipes. So, I mean, you can think outside the box a little bit, right? And just stay engaged with your audience, right? So that's an example of, social media planning calendar, I guess, if you will, content calendar. So lots of ideas, quotes of the week, summer read. So again, it doesn't have to all be real estate, but just something that maybe gets your audience also knowing a little bit about you, right? So again, going back to that example, if you do love to cook, maybe sharing recipes, then they feel connected to you because maybe they also like to cook, right? So just making it personal as well. Yes, educating them on real estate, sure, sharing your just sold listings or sharing, that you just found something for your buyers. All of that is great, but then also, disclosing a little bit about you, that creates that connection. All right, so let's talk about the business website. So again, there's the free way that you can do this. You can definitely just go to Wix and create your own, even just one-page website. But Exact Contact is something that I always recommend because this is a step up from the Excel spreadsheet. You would be able to keep track of all of your leads, all of your clients, all of your transactions. And then of course, as I said, they do also have the ability to create a website for you. They do also have a template that they create every month with some content ideas. So you can send out a monthly newsletter to all of your clients that are in that database. So it's kind of an all-in-one platform. So Exact Contact, and again, I think it's like $30 a month. So this is one that if you're just starting out, it's not that expensive, and it's something that again you can grow into. So if you wait a year or two before you can justify the cost or whatever, then you have all these people that you need to input. So it's good to just start with a system that you can grow into, so that all of your business, all of your contacts are already in there from day one, right? So yeah, take a look at Exact Contact. That will help you stay in touch with your audience. So the other one that I want to recommend is Web for Realty. I know I've heard some of you guys have used that or are using that, and I've heard good things about them. And I just signed up with them, and they have a promo right now where it's half off for 6 months, and they're already pretty reasonable. I think their starting package is $29 a month. So right now you're only paying $14. So take a look at them if you're interested. They have some really nice templates, and then you can choose from different packages. But here are just some examples, and you can create from here sort of your own branding as well, and then you can take this into those newsletters or whatever it is that you're going to do to stay in touch with your clients. So yeah, let's see, we're getting a comment here. Yeah, so Agent Crate is what I'm recommending, and I'm going to share with you at the end a slide that's called resources. So everything that I'm talking about here, I'll share with you what those were. Where can we get, is there any website? Yeah, okay, perfect. So agentcrate.com if you're looking for content from them, but there are other ones out there. There's actually one called, this is more specific, but Ladies of Real Estate, LRE Social. They have another one. Anyway, there's a ton out there that you can look into. But yeah, the Agent Crate is a little bit more general, not just female-minded. Anyway, yeah, so lots of website templates that you can click on or that you can implement, and really it is so important. So yes, we get the leads from Zolo. It's not required that you have a website, but if somebody is going to Google you and they find nothing about you, then they might not feel as confident in using you, right? So something I didn't touch on is even the Google business page. So you can sign up for Google Business, and then when they do Google you, if they Google your name particularly, they'll see that yes, you are a realtor, yes, you are with Zolo, and then you can ask people to review your services there. That also gives you a ton of credibility. But then again, beyond that, having that Facebook page, the Instagram page, and the website, right? Having a website that also has that CRM attached to it is going to help you stay in touch with your clients, stay top of mind, and implement all of those emails that you want in order to stay top of mind with them. So looking into something like this is a great idea. Okay, so having said that, so we've talked about implementing a website for yourself, but if you want to take it a step further, I really love this idea, creating a website for your community. So there are a couple of examples here, and I'm actually sharing one because this one comes up a lot for me. I'm in Oakville, and I've met people through Zolo. They've chosen me as their realtor, which is great, but I've heard that they often refer to this website, and it's actually a realtor's website. If you Google real estate in schools in Oakville, this website comes up. So this is just an example of going beyond just your personal marketing, but really giving value, right? So that anybody who's thinking about moving to Oakville, for example, and it's probably going to be a family, just given the demographic in this area, they're probably going to be looking at schools, and they're probably going to be looking at rankings. And what this particular agent has done is implemented that community piece to her website. So, super school neighborhoods, best schools. So all you have to do is Google schools in Oakville, and she comes up. So she has a really sort of powerful website in terms of providing value. So that's kind of the suggestion I'm presenting to you. There's another example here of a top producing agent out in Edmonton, and what she's done is she has a separate website entirely for her particular area, right? And so she talks about lifestyle, what different neighborhoods there are in that area. Of course, she has a section for homes, but she also talks about, I mean, you can see probably here on the icons that she uses, right? Best restaurants, where are the parks? You know, what are some businesses that, you know, are family related? What are some shops that are in the area? You know, what's some fun stuff, some events that are happening? And then of course, yes, she has a section on homes. So, you know, this is something else, right? This is attraction marketing, if you will, right? So people who are interested in that area, right? They might not necessarily search for, you know, realtor. They're going to search for neighborhoods. They're going to search for schools. They're going to search for, you know, fun places to go, events in that area. You know, they want to know a little bit more about that particular neighborhood. Then, you know, you can capture them this way, right? As opposed to just having that, you know, real estate website. You can have more of a community style website and have people attracted to your website that way. And then of course, yes, if they love the neighborhood, they're thinking about moving there, obviously having a section there for homes. So this is something really, you know, maybe that are a few steps ahead if you've just started in real estate, but definitely something to keep in mind. I think in order to, again, attract those clients to you, right? You don't, of course you want to be the real estate expert, but you also want to be that area expert. And how do you set yourself apart? How do you do that, right? So this is a suggestion on how you might be able to accomplish that. Okay, and then of course, video marketing. So I did touch on BombBomb. So this is something that, again, you can implement into your Gmail. It does cost. I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's more in the $60 range. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's really easy. So basically, you can just go and compose an email, and you know, this is a great tool to have. So imagine all of the leads that we get coming in through our Zolo website. You know, we call them, we text them, we send them an email, and they don't answer. Maybe sending them an email with a video, just saying, hey, I received your request for information. You know, let me know how I can help on whatever it is. You know, you just shoot them off like a little 10-second video, and now suddenly they feel like they know you a little bit better. This is going to set you apart, right? This may actually get them to reply, because I know that that's a struggle. We all have it, right? We've all, you know, asked each other, you know, what can we do in order to get this client to reply, right? And obviously we do want to try reaching them out in you know, by different ways, calling them, texting them, emailing them, but then maybe giving this a try as well. You can also use it for answering questions, right? You can even do screen shares in this. So you could really, you know, reply to an email and really give a lot of value, a lot of information, and have them feel like they're connected to you, right? So if you haven't tried this, again, this may be a few steps ahead if you're brand new to real estate, but it is a really cool tool to implement, and it's really easy, really user-friendly. Does the email go out as an attachment, or once they open the email, it pops up automatically? Great question. So the beauty about this is that it does not send as an attachment. So basically they open up their email and they see sort of a still of you, and then they have that play button. So exactly what you see over here on the right-hand side, that's how they get the email. So it's a screenshot of you, and then they can press the play button, and it tells them how long it is too. People like to know that, right? If I'm going to press play, you know, what's the commitment level here, right? So if you keep it short and sweet, if it's a 10-second video just introducing yourself, then yeah, I think that that's a really powerful way to get these, you know, leads to respond. Sometimes they're non-responsive, and you know, this might be the way to do it. So yeah, hopefully that's a good tool for you guys. But something else as well is, of course, if you're not scared of the camera, then, you know, maybe doing an educational series as well, right? So educating your clients on, you know, what it is to be a first-time home buyer. What's the process if they're looking to rent? You know, all of these, and there's so many things, so many questions that we get all the time. You know, if you have that in a video series, when people Google that, and you know, they'll come across you, right? So that's another way of attracting clients, right? So you're answering the questions that people ask often, and if they come across you, then you know, you're going to come across as the expert, of course, right? So lots of things that you can implement here. I've heard of some agents even doing kind of a weekly series where they answer questions that they may have gotten during the week. So, you know, you can kind of keep it kind of fun and light and answer real estate questions. And again, short and sweet, but something that's out there, you know, and people will find you that way, right? And then they'll obviously think of you as the expert. So another really cool way to market yourself. And this, again, doesn't cost you anything, right? So a few things here I've suggested have cost some money, but there are some things here that you can implement in your business that make you look like the expert and doesn't cost you a lot of money. And in this case, nothing at all. So again, another suggestion to take away. And then of course we have all of the traditional marketing. So I can't do a marketing webinar without talking about these things. Cold calling. Again, thankfully here at Zolo, we don't have to cold call. We have a whole list of people that we can you know, tap into. So we'll talk about that. Direct mail, of course, so going back to Sidekicks Media, they can definitely put together a campaign for you, and they'll even organize it for you. So, you know, you can let them know what area you want to farm, and they can pick a few postal codes. Obviously, the more you choose, the more expensive it gets. So, you know, maybe just starting off with a smaller budget, smaller area, maybe you pick, you know, the busier streets. We know that people who live on busier streets move quicker, right? Move in less time than people who live, you know, maybe in a cul-de-sac. So maybe there's a few major roads around you and you can just target that postal code and the other postal code and do it for 6 months. See what happens, right? You know, hopefully you get some listing presentations and some sold properties out of that. So direct mail, reaching out to Sidekicks Media, door knocking, of course. You know, right now, well, I don't know. Right now, you know, we've been, you know, sort of told not to do that. It's kind of a sensitive time to be door knocking. Yes, we know people are home, but you know, maybe just instead doing a door hanger, right? Something that you can just hang on somebody's door. If you are in the neighborhood, you know, you want to introduce yourself as the friendly neighborhood realtor, maybe that's something you do. And then of course, being involved in your community and doing good things. There is nothing better in terms of marketing yourself than to do good things. So let's talk a little bit about that. So even though I've already touched on it, but yeah, these are some more traditional marketing methods. And again, chat with me, you guys. Let me know if you're using any of these. I know some people absolutely kill it with door knocking. Personally, it's not, you know, my favorite thing to do. So, but yeah, let me know if what has worked for you. I kind of prefer the digital door knocking, the Facebook ads. That's sort of more my style. So yeah, and then the cold calling here. So again, utilizing the Zolo CRM, clicking on that stream button up at the top. I already talked about that. You know, if you click on that, it's going to give you a long chronological list of everybody who's been searching, you know, so you'll have the most recent people up at the top. So feel free to reach out to them. Let me see what I've got coming up next here, because I do also want to talk about, I don't think I have a slide for it, but of course also using your reverse search. So if there is a property down the street from you and you would love to sell it, you can go ahead and click on your tools drop-down menu, and in there's the reverse search. So you can put in that MLS number and it'll literally tell you every single person who's registered to Zolo.ca who has looked at that property. So again, it's a list that you can reach out to, right? You know, have a script. You know, feel free to reach out to me if you want to brainstorm on some ideas, or your growth manager on how to reach out to those people. But basically, you know, just introducing yourself, thanking them for registering to the site, asking them what they're looking for, and hopefully, you know, being able to help them. So it's another way of digging for buyers in your CRM. So again, not something that you have to spend money on marketing. It's right there, it's available for you. So using the stream button and using the reverse search in the Zolo CRM are really good ways to generate more business. So here's an example of a direct mail postcard. So this is something that Hamid designed at Sidekicks Media. So this was an example of an agent really promoting themselves and Zolo, and why you should, you know, choose both, right? Choose that agent and choose that brokerage. So, you know, a bunch of different reasons there. Obviously, there's some other examples of direct mail where you might be promoting a listing, and that's always great, but that comes after probably all the marketing efforts, right? What got that agent to the point of actually getting a listing, right? Maybe they sent out a postcard like this. So this is something that you may want to do. So you don't have to wait to have a listing to send out direct mail to your neighborhood. You can literally do something like this where you're promoting yourself, you know, you're featuring the brokerage that you're with, you know, and you're talking about why somebody should choose you and Zolo, right? So yeah, this one I think was done a while ago, because, you know, we're now at 10 million visitors per month, 11, I believe it is. So no longer 5, we've grown really quickly. The number of registered users, I can definitely get that number to you guys. Yeah, featured listings, if that's not something you know about, if you're wanting to list properties, you do a listing presentation and people ask, what's the advantage of using Zolo? Well, with all of these visitors that we get every month, your listing would be featured in your particular area. So without them having to, narrow down their search criteria at a price point or whatever it is, they're going to be the first listing that they see in that area, if that's the area they're choosing in. Real-time data and trends, 100%. The Zolo site is amazing. I know other realtors who aren't with the brokerage who use the Zolo site, for the information that's there. So yeah, definitely talking about that. And then targeted email campaigns. Yes, people who register to the site based on their site behavior, they get, emails sent to them, right? So super powerful, use that to your advantage, talk about it. And if you do want to direct mail, do direct mail, but you don't have a listing, this is a good idea to implement. So keep in mind, there is a cost. This is probably the most expensive thing that I'm talking about, but it does work. That's why we continue to get these flyers in the mail, right? But just know it is a long game. It's not something that you should try for 1 month, because then it's just a waste of money. Really, commit to a plan. So, the smaller the budget, but the longer the consistency might be the right approach here. And then of course, if you do have a property that just sold, obviously Hamid can do those for you as well. So this is an example of 1, 2, 3, 4 random street. So there you go. All right. So here's the door hangers that I mentioned. At one point, we did have some that were available again for free at the Zolo office. So if you are interested in these, just reach out to Hamid, see if there are any left. But of course, if you want to personalize it with your name and that sort of thing, you can order some and Hamid can create those for you. So again, just a nice door hanger that you can leave behind so that if people are considering a move, this is something that you've dropped off and delivered as opposed to, paying the big bucks for the direct mail. So again, just another idea here for you guys. And then last but not least, definitely, yeah, involving yourself in the community. So again, if you're in an area where it's family friendly, maybe participating in the school, whatever it is, there's so many ideas. So many ideas. So definitely, if you want to brainstorm on this, or if you have done something in your neighborhood that has worked, definitely chat with me, let me know. And then also, I know a lot of realtors will do events and that sort of thing, but again, that comes at a cost to volunteer and to help out, or maybe to create something of your own where you're giving back to the community. It definitely will set you apart from all the other agents, right? So doing good is always a good thing. All right, so these are the resources I mentioned throughout this presentation. So I've got Agent Crate, so agentcrate.com if you want to check that out. Exact Contact is the CRM I always talk about. Web for Realty is the website provider that I mentioned earlier. They have that promotion happening right now. They're already reasonably priced. You can choose between their $29 or $39 package, and they have it half off for 6 months. It also comes with a CRM. I haven't used it yet, but I have signed up for them, so I'll keep you posted. I'll always let you guys know. So that even might save you the cost of having Exact Contact, right? So look into that as an option. Facebook, Instagram, that's free. And then of course, BombBomb is the other video messaging platform I suggested. That one does come at a little bit of a price. So I believe it's 60 something, and that might be US, but a really good way to stand out. So if you feel like, you have these leads that you want to talk to and they're just not responsive, maybe it's worth the $60, right? So anyway, those are the resources that I've pulled here today for you guys. And then of course, again, Hamid's contact information. So he is in the Zolo office, Sidekicks Media. So go to sidekicks.ca and you can contact him. There's his phone number as well. So 647-784-7622. Awesome. Let me know if you guys have questions, or again, chat with me. Let me know what works for you guys. What have you been doing outside of the Zolo CRM to generate your own leads? Again, this video gets posted, so even if you add that as a comment on the workplace training group, I'd love to know. I'd love to hear from you guys. In the meantime, if you don't have any questions now, I guess I will leave you with that, but I hope that you were able to get something valuable from this. So it was fun for me to put together. Excellent. Yeah, my pleasure. Well, thanks again, you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week on the next webinar. Thanks so much. Bye now.